Yo, it's your boy Young King. Just saw this debate, man, with young Pharaoh and the white dude. Oh man, it was a good debate, man. Um, Somebody saw it and sent it to me and was like, "Who did I think win? Who did I think won?" Um, Understand that I'm quite biased, cause not to say I'm anti-white. I love every race, but I'm in love with my race. I'm in love with my peoples. But it was a good debate, man. I gotta say, you know what I mean. When I look at debates, especially like this one, I also, look at presentation, if you put in, data in as far as, polls or, you know what I mean, statistics and things like that, which, as I can say, the white guy really, really put some statistics out there. He started off with a great presentation. He came hard, even I don't agree with the statistics that, but, he had it. He had statistics ready and he presented it very, very well. I mean, he came out strong. I'm like, whoa, okay, this white boy. I actually think he's actually an undercover white supremacist. I think, and I think he was kind of scared to go that route because he was maybe kind of, when you're dealing with somebody like Young Pharaoh, you got a lot of energy as a young guy, and a lot of white people be scared. They don't really want to combat that energy. So I think he's a little scared of young Pharaoh's energy, so that's why he didn't bring the real white supremacists out. But he came out with a lot of data, a lot of points on institutions and how this is not racism and this and that. And he had a lot of great points because, like I said, I'm looking at it as far as presentation, how he presented, um, the statistics he bring as far as polls or whatever. Even though and I might not agree with the poll, but I'm just saying he brought it and he had it presented in a respectful manner as a debate, as in a debate. He brought his best foot forward. You know what I mean, for round one. You know what I mean. I was impressed. He came out swinging. Then then he had to pass the ball over and play some defense. And boy, let me tell you. I say Young Pharaoh touched on at least 85% of everything that he said. I guess he couldn't touch on every single thing because, with timing and their live streaming or whatever. But he touched on at least 85% and debunked at least 85, 90% of what he said. Basically, everything that he touched on, he basically debunked it. You know what I mean? But, since I would give the white boy, points of presentation, uh, for round one, I'm gonna rate it. It may be a little off scale because I know people who saw it. My homie was like, "Listen, this nigga Young Pharaoh murdered this white boy," and yes, he did murder him. But the way I graded it, I didn't grade it in that perspective of did he destroy your premise, which he did. But I still gave him points. It's almost like the SAT test. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can do the test, but you get grades you get points just for putting your name on the test and filling out the right address. You also get graded for that. So since he presented, he got graded for that. So I gave it like a 9.7 first round. It could have been like a 10.3, but just for the perspective how we presented it, unless until it was debunked, if you heard the premise, you would be like, wow, like, hey, this white guy got a point. Even though I'm biased in it, I have to look at it at a balanced scale. You know what I mean? So if I was looking at it and I wasn't biased, I would be like, wow, hey, this white boy really put a nice premise out there. You know what I mean? Now, even though the premise got destroyed, you know what I mean, he still got points for the way he presented it. You know what I mean? Now, also, they had a debate on can the white guy experience spirituality or do he have a connection to the cosmos? And this was kind of a tricky one, you know what I mean? Because I love Farrell's perspective and he have a lot of great points, you know what I mean? He's, in my years of studying, you know what I mean, melanin and the black body and ancient culture, um, he have a lot of great points that without the melanin, he does not have the higher connection. You know what I mean? But I still have to give, grading on the premise and how it was presented. And he presented it as, he studied, I think he said Hinduism, I think it was Hinduism. And he studied under Buddhists and he learned how to meditate. Also, he learned how to raise his chakras. Now, as far as raising your chakras, it's a very long, it's an inner journey. You know what I mean? It's nothing you can just say, hey, I can do it. You know what I mean? It just takes time and patience and you know what I mean, to train and learn that craft. Now, can a white guy do that craft? This is kind of tricky. I doubt if a white guy can raise any chakra through any raise his chakras through his crown chakra. I don't think it. Like I said, not I wouldn't say none, but I would think it's rare that any white guy can raise his chakras all the way to his crown chakra, and in essence be able to talk to the cosmos or speak to the creator or the most high or the ancestors. You know what I mean? I think this is a reason not only because they're less melanated, but their souls have not, or the body that their soul is in have not had enough experience as far as reincarnating or, you know, experience on earth as long as melanated beings, so or black people or African centered people. You know what I mean? So with that, what makes it hard for them to be able to raise it to their crown chakra, and if they do, it'll make it hard for them to speak to the ancestors. But energy, the crown chakra and all the chakras are all just an energy source. And we know energy is biased. Energy don't really care. You can plug a green plug in the wall, a white plug, a black plug, a brown plug. Whatever plug you're going to get energy. It's going to convert the energy from the wall to whatever source the plug comes from. So, with that being said, yes, they can use ancient African energy. They can use our spells, they can use our tantras, our mantras, and use energy. And you can see on a global scale, they're actually using our energy. But this is the flip side. It's kind of a mirror. It's almost like they're using us to fuel the energy that they use. You know what I mean? Through their creation of religion and us praying to the religion and praying to the white God, the perspective of the white God, part of the religion, or however you want to see the religion. Whatever they create, as long as we submit to it, we give them the energy. So they can use that energy. And basically, since we're connected to the Creator, they can use our connection to the Creator as a hack. Basically, they're just hacking. You know what I mean? So, I think they can hack. You know what I mean? And use certain energies to get to a high energy. Can they connect to the Creator? I'm gonna say no. That's just my perspective. I'm gonna say no. They can't get connect to the Creator because the point he made, yeah, they're not natural. So, but they can use a high form of energy, or use us to create an energy source, which they did with the Jesus. Jesus is a non-fictional or a fictional character, or a fictitious character, a straw man, however you want to say it. But since we have prayed to him for centuries, or not even centuries now, for 200-300 years, however you want to say it, but we have given that energy source. So now that source is out there. You can actually pray to that energy and get a return back. You know what I mean? If you're into that energy, we have made that energy come to pass. We have brought that energy to being because we are creators. We are one with the Creator. We are creative. We are creative beings. You know what I'm trying to say? But back to the debate. That's just my perspective. Rambling off. Back to the debate. Um, he got a lot of points for his premise. Pharaoh presented his premise, and he had a lot of great points. I'm going to grade this. I'm going to grade this 10-9. Even though I might agree with Pharaoh, they both presented it very, very well, and I give Pharaoh the edge only because the white guy could not debunk the sun theory. He could not debunk that. It's like he couldn't get over that. Like it's like seriously, like you can't deal with that sun. And that was it's like he tried to go around it with, oh, black people have high blood pressure and this and that, and white people don't. But he failed to realize, like, if you find any black person who eats right, is on an alkaline diet, he don't have none of that. He don't have none of that shit you're talking about. So all that shit that he's talking about is black people who's indoctrinated and basically, eat meat and follow the doctrine that they've been following in America for so long before, great teachers like Sabi and other great teachers came along, you know what I mean, to show us a different way of eating and, nutrition in your body. So I, he even though Farrell didn't touch on that, he got points for that. You know what I mean? Farrell did not answer that, but just a simple answer. Like anybody that's on alkaline diet or anybody that's eating right, they don't have high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, none of that. You know what I mean? They can't live in that type of body. So I give that I give it a 10-9 on that because both of them was very good on their presentation. The last one was basically, does white supremacy affect black people? And on the last section, I think I'm going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it a 9-7. And I'm going to give it to young Pharaoh. And I'm not being biased. It's just the premise he brought up and the way he presented it. Also, the admission of the white guy saying that, yes, I can honestly say, if we would have never ever took you from your natural habitat and left you there, I can honestly say we don't know how you guys would have been. Basically, he was basically admitting that just the fact that they came and kidnapped black people from the continent and enslaved us, it basically, he basically admitted that by doing that, by default, some type of way, we're in a different state than we was then. And basically saying if he would have never came and got us, we would have been better off. So by default, he basically admitted that yes, some type of way, whites or white supremacy has and affected and basically has, you know, continued to affect black people worldwide, especially here in these, Americans or, whatever you want to call it. But all in all, I think it would have been a better debate if the white guy would have went in. At the end, he started throwing out real white supremacist standpoints, and you can hear when he said, like, yo, like, them standpoints were hard, buddy. Like, yeah, you done studied that white nationalism. And since we're talking about white nationalism, let's get on it. I don't think no black person should have any problem with any white person being a nationalist. If they want to be about their culture, I think you should let them be about their culture. I think that should be perfectly fine because I don't see nobody talking about Asian, date Asian, spend Asian. You know what I mean? When they're at home, they learning Asian. They only know about their culture. Even in Asian in America or Chinese in America. When you say Chinese in America, you ain't never see a Chinese in America with a black girl or a Chinese in America with a white girl. You see a Chinese in America, that motherfucker with a Chinese. That's their culture. There's nothing wrong with that. So if white people want to say, hey, I'm pro-white and I love white and I want white to be with white, I think that's great. I think that's perfect. And if a black want to say, hey, I think blacks should be with blacks and blacks should date blacks, I think that's great. And the Spanish do the same. And every other culture is the same, honestly. You would rarely, rarely, rarely see Spanish with another Spanish, without another Spanish. It can be white and black, but they both Spanish. Or you'll rarely see a Spanish with a white, or a Spanish with just a black. You'll see it, but not that often. Or with Chinese, you would never ever see a Chinese with a black or a white. That just don't happen. Or Russian. Most Russians date Russians. You know what I mean? They like people date what they're familiar to. So when it comes to black and white, and it gets like vague, like, oh, if I say I want my daughter to date only blacks, it's like, oh, you prejudiced. It's like, what? How's that? That's like a Chinese guy saying he wants his daughter to marry a nice Chinese guy. I just think it's culture. It's like that's how it's supposed to be. So, I felt if his standpoint was white nationalism, I think he should have came with the white nationalism. He should have came with it. You know what I mean? And hey, I just seen this nigga Young Pharaoh destroy some niggas, so it would have been a good debate. I just like a good debate, especially I would like to really see this nigga Pharaoh debate Jesse Lee Peterson. That'd be a good debate because that's a real. He's a real white supremacist in a black body. That'll be some shit. I'm not getting into that fight because he makes me laugh. I'd be cracking up over him. He's just funny to me. He's so whitewashed that I just can't stop laughing when I hear him talk. It's like, dude, you really white. You know what I mean? But all in all, man, I really like the debate. I don't know the white guy's name, but I commend them for just coming in, putting this premise out there because most white people would, be scared of being called racist. If that's your standpoint, that's your standpoint. You know what I mean? I don't think there's nothing wrong with being racist. If you're considered being racist, if you're practicing racism, then I think it's a problem. If you say, hey, like, I want to live by white people, I want to live by black people, I think that's cool. And if a black person say, hey, I want to live by black people, I want to live by white people, I think that's cool. I don't think that's racist. Or I think if you're going to call it racist, I just think it's like, you're pro your race. You're very fond of your race. I would consider that type of racism, not racism where you like, I want to be by my race because I hate those people, or because I want to be by these people because these people are less than me. You know what I mean? If it come from that perspective, and it may be considered racist. You know what I mean? But if you just love your people and pro your people and understand that interaction with any other people might damage your people, you want to be with your people, and it's a good perspective. But great debate, and you know what I mean. Like I say, I give it first round 9-7, uh, 10-9, and 9-7 again for Young Pharaoh. Great debate, and y'all keep it up, man. Y'all keep putting that information out there and educating our people. Young King, I'm out.